Hey friends, Mahin here. When it comes to living well with fibromyalgia, who better to learn from than pop icon Lady Gaga? Fibromyalgia is a chronic pain condition that affects millions of people all around the world, yet it's still not fully understood. However, Lady Gaga has been very open about her struggle with this condition, particularly in her documentary Gaga 5'2", which has helped increase the awareness of fibromyalgia worldwide. So in this video, we'll take a closer look at how Lady Gaga manages her fibromyalgia and what we can learn from her experiences. Stick around for the end of this video where I will reveal her secret in living well with fibromyalgia, and this is something that is absolutely necessary for anyone that's living with the condition. First though, a quick recap on what fibromyalgia is. Fibromyalgia is a chronic condition characterized by widespread pain, constant fatigue, unrefreshed sleep, and cognitive difficulties such as with memory and concentration. It's estimated that fibromyalgia affects between 2 to 6% of the population worldwide, with it being more common in women than men. And while the cause of fibromyalgia varies from person to person, researchers found that it can be linked to either genetics, the immune system, or physical or emotional trauma. This causes the nervous system to enter into a threat state and pain becomes overprotective, causing it to be felt in different areas of the body in the absence of any damage, inflammation, or structural changes that may be seen on scans. So in 2017, Lady Gaga announced that she'd been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which forced her to cancel several concerts. She's since been very open about her struggles with the condition and has used her platform to raise awareness and advocate for better treatment options. Her bravery in sharing her experience has helped reduce the stigma surrounding fibromyalgia and has encouraged others to seek help. So what does Lady Gaga actually do to manage her fibromyalgia? Well, she's tried a variety of conventional and alternative treatments. And one treatment that she's found helpful is floating in a sensory deprivation tank. This involves lying on your back in a tank filled with water and Epsom salt, which creates a sense of weightlessness and relaxation. From my understanding of pain, this is likely to be beneficial because of the sense of safety perceived by the brain when in such a flotation tank. There is also some talk about how sensory deprivation tanks create a similar environment to being in the womb, as you're surrounded by fluid, or water in this case, and there are no interfering stimuli from the outside world. Lady Gaga has also reported having tried acupuncture, cupping, and other holistic treatments. She's also worked with a team of doctors to find the right combination of medications to manage her symptoms. It's important to note here that traditional pain relief medications such as opioids don't work well in the long term for chronic pain or for fibromyalgia, and the medications that seem to be more helpful are limited to antidepressants. Having said that, just because medication options are limited, it doesn't mean that there aren't any other strategies that can help with fibromyalgia. In fact, medication only makes up a very small part of the overall picture of strategies that can be learned to help to manage chronic pain. And the best thing is that these other strategies don't come with the same side effects that medications do, which means that people are able to do more of the things that they want on the way to leading the life that they want. Another really important aspect of Lady Gaga's fibromyalgia management is her lifestyle. She makes sure to get enough rest and listens to her body when it needs a break, and she also exercises regularly, which can be really beneficial for pain and fatigue. Lady Gaga has also talked about the importance of self-care and mental health, which are often overlooked when it comes to managing chronic conditions. She's also emphasized the need for a healthy diet and reducing stress in her life. What I want to pick out here is that Lady Gaga has a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, following being raped when she was 19 years old. Alongside medication to help with the symptoms of PTSD and her mental health, Lady Gaga has ongoing regular psychological therapy to help her process the trauma of the sexual abuse. Unfortunately, due to her quick rise to fame, Lady Gaga has explained in the past that she never processed the trauma at the time. What we know about the relationship between the mind and the body is that when we aren't able to process traumatic events through our emotions adequately, then our body can process it and display it through physical sensations such as pain instead. I've done a previous video on the link between trauma and chronic pain that I'll leave a link to in the description below. But one of the biggest predictors of developing fibromyalgia later on in life is a previous history of trauma. I explain this to all my patients with a diagnosis of fibromyalgia as early as possible to help them see this link in their own experiences, as this is the first step in making more sense of what is going on and moving forward with their lives despite their diagnosis. Processing trauma through psychological therapy is a really important aspect of managing chronic pain. As I mentioned before, when traumatic experiences are not dealt with, the body may process them through physical sensations like pain instead. Lady Gaga's story really highlights the importance of receiving help to process trauma, whether this is through medication or regular therapy sessions. It's so important to recognize that mental health and past experiences can play a significant role in chronic pain, and addressing these underlying issues can be an important step in managing your symptoms. So seeking help from healthcare professionals such as psychologists, psychotherapists, or other therapists can be really helpful in managing chronic pain and improving your quality of life. So there you have it. Lady Gaga's approach to managing her fibromyalgia comes from a combination of treatments, self-care, and her lifestyle. But her secret is recognizing the relationship between trauma and chronic pain and engaging in therapy to help her process this and develop strategies to move forwards. Understanding the link between trauma and pain can help us to see why previous conventional treatments are either not effective or have only worked in the short term. This is because they only scratch the surface and don't address the underlying issues like trauma-informed therapy can. While there is no cure for fibromyalgia, the good news is that there are many different strategies that can be used to help manage the condition and live well with it. If you or someone you know is struggling with fibromyalgia, remember that you are not alone. Seek help from family, friends, and healthcare professionals. If you have any tips or tricks for living well with fibromyalgia, then please pop them in the comments below because I'm always keen to hear from you about those things. Otherwise, if you found this video helpful, here is that video that I talked about earlier that takes a deep dive into the relationship between chronic pain, stress, and trauma. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you never miss a video from this channel. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next video.